Who wants to adopt a dog? Adopting a dog, in many regards, is like adopting a child. By that I mean you must consider much of the same stuff. In other words, you must count up the costs. There are a large number of dogs out there that need a good home. In fact, I was reading an article posted by Pets to a Good Home, and it revealed that there are some 32,000 animals placed in shelters across the U.S. every day. It also revealed that there are some 5 million dogs killed in shelters across the U.S. every year. And this is due in part to the fact that their former owners failed to count up the costs before acquiring them. My wife and I, we are the owners of 6 beautiful dogs, and each of them are as precious to us as if they were our own children. In the 39 years that we've been married, we've raised about 25 dogs, and most of them were adopted. We've also been able to aid other families in acquiring the right dogs for their home. And some of the first questions that we ask them are, why do you want a dog? What do you want in a dog? Are you able to afford a dog? And these are some of the same questions that will be asked of you at a good adoption agency, because they are concerned with the health and welfare of the dog just as if it was a child. Now, you might want a dog for a number of reasons. You might have just a single child and you want something to keep your child from being lonesome. Or perhaps you have a number of children and you're looking for a playmate for your children. Or perhaps you think that a dog would serve as a good provider while your children go about their playful day. Whatever your reasons for wanting a dog, it is very important that you consider the needs of the dog prior to acquiring him. Now, this is a lot to think about, so I would like to share with you some of the things that must be considered before acquiring a dog. First of all, there is health and medical care. Also, grooming and training. Training is a big factor, because if the dog is not properly trained, you're not going to keep him around very long. So it's very important that you consider how much time you would have to spend with training a dog, or whether or not you'll need to hire an outside trainer to train your dog. Training a dog could be very rewarding. In fact, I read a verse in the King James Bible that stated, if you train up a child in the way that you would have him to go, when he is old, he would not depart from it. I find this to be just as true when it comes to your dog. If you properly train your dog, he'll be a good addition to your home. Now, we've talked about some of the things that's needed to be considered before acquiring a dog. Let's kind of turn and look at where we would acquire such a dog. Now, I think that your community shelter is a good place to start, because they have a large variety of dogs. Dogs of all shapes, sizes, breeds, crossbreeds. And you just might find the dog that you're looking for there. Also, there are other benefits in shopping at a shelter. You will find that at a shelter, many of the dogs come from former homes, and they've already had their shots. They've already been treated for fleas. And a good adopting agency will not allow you to adopt a dog that is sick or diseased. So this much you have as in your favor. Also, there's a place that you can shop online called PetSmart Charity. Now, PetSmart Charity has a larger variety of dogs because it's located throughout the U.S. and they have a larger variety of dogs. and they transfer dogs from city to city, from shelter to shelter. And if you put in a request for a dog, if they don't have that particular dog that you're looking for, they'll put you on a list, and when that dog comes in, they'll inform you, and you can go and visit with the dog. And also, they give you a take-home package, which includes the proper care for that particular dog. They sit down with you and they explain to you the needs of the dog that you choose, and they kind of help you to count up the cost. In other words, they show you a cost estimate per year to take care of that dog. So this is a great start. In fact, I would recommend that you do this before you choose a dog. Now, you'll find that there are articles that come out in the newspaper, free pets to a good home. Now, I would be very careful in choosing an animal from such an article. Reason being, most of the time, they don't come with a medical history. And in a lot of cases, it's that the owners of the parent dog has had children and had puppies rather, and now they have too many dogs to care for, so they are just trying to get rid of the dog. And it could be that the dog is sick. And the one thing that you don't want to do is bring a sick or diseased dog into your home, that this sickness might be transferred to you or your children. So I would be very careful about that. You know, I can recall my wife and I, we went to visit a dog pound. It was a touching situation. We just happened to visit on the day that they were taking animals and carting them off to be put to sleep. And as the handler was taking the dogs from their cages and loading them onto a truck to be transported to a place where they were to be put to sleep, there was this one little particular dog that happened to slip out of the grips of the handler's hand. And they chased him around and chased him around, and he finally stopped. And where he stopped at was at my wife's feet, and laid his head down on my wife's feet. It was a very touching situation. It was sad enough, me knowing that these animals were being taken off to be put to sleep. But it seems as though that puppy knew what was about to happen. And in a last desperate plea for life, he laid his head upon my wife's feet. My wife reached down and picked up that dog. We call that dog Faith. And Faith is one of our beloved 6 puppies. She is our baby. I encourage you, if you want to adopt a dog, first count up the cost. Take in consideration the dog's needs as well as your desires. And what it all comes down to is you are adopting a precious member of your family. So be wise, be smart, and God bless.